permitted during tournament competition. Brunswick, we are ready to begin competition. Bowlers, at the sound of the bell, you may begin your competition. Good luck and good bowling.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Bowl TV on this holiday weekend. This is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith, and we're live here at the 2015 USBC Open Championships. We're at the El Paso Convention Center. Right now we're behind lanes 7 and 8, taking a look at two very talented teams from the Wichita State lineage. And this group led by 2013 regular all-events winner John Szczerbinski. He'll make his first appearance on the championship lane since winning back in 2013. Of course, he missed last year's event due to his status on the PBA Tour, but back in action here in 2015 and looking to make some noise. And Aaron's waiting for it, and might as well get the cliche out of the way, as today is the 4th of July, so hoping to see some fireworks here at the El Paso Convention Center as these two teams try to knock down more pins than Team NABR, led by Adam Barda. I know the Bardas are having a little 4th of July celebration at home. Might as well throw in some nerves and butterflies as we watch 10 great players hit the lanes here. So we're now underway, game number 1 of 3. Thanks for joining us, giving us a part of your holiday. Aaron Smith, you as well. Thanks for coming into work today.
Thanks for putting me on the schedule. Always excited to see great teams here on Bowl TV, and this is definitely one of the contenders here, year in, year out. They've put together an unbelievably solid group. We'll go through their resumes in just a little bit, but Matt said fireworks, so that's actually going to conclude today's broadcast. So good night, everybody. I lied. We'll be here, assuming all the stuff works. But great to see these two teams make it out here. Once again, you mentioned John Szczerbinski making his return to the Open Championships after claiming the regular all-events title in 2013, nearly the regular singles title as well. Ended up finishing second, but Szczerbinski is going to highlight high five gear as Jesse Buss delivers a strike there. Szczerbinski will be up in a second on lane 8. That team made up of Ryan Zagar, Ryan Abel, Chris Drews, Jesse Buss, and John Szczerbinski. Their crossing team, boys, features Holly Harris, Daria Kovalova, Tyler Cruz, Francois Lavoie, who will be stepping up in a second, and Team USA's Devin Bidwell. So most of these players, no stranger to Bowl TV or even the bright lights of television, having spent, or 9 out of these 10 players spending time at Wichita State. Zager, the only one who has not been a wheat shocker, but he's done all right for himself. A past junior Team USA member. He also helped Robert Morris, Illinois, to the 2013 Expo and Intercollegiate Team Championships, and he's already done some work here in his debut appearance at the Open Championships. The story popped up on Bowl.com a little bit earlier today, yesterday. Zager took over the Open singles lead at the Bowlers Journal Championships presented by USBC with a 766 set. So only has to wait a short week to see if that's enough to capture that title. But they're back to business today here. Excited to see what they'll be able to put up.
Well, no B team on this pair of lanes. It's the A team and the other A team, and anything can happen. So if I was in the top 10 or the leading team right now, I'd probably be at least tuning in to see how this first game goes. And these guys have made a run at it in the past. 2013, a very good year all around. And no doubt, as soon as they walk in the building, a threat for every category. Team all events. Last year, it was Drews and Bidwell making a move in doubles. And had a shot at the title with just a couple of frames to go. Came up a little bit short. All these guys used to winning, so I am confident that the close calls only lead to more motivation when they return. They're still very young. They understand the history and tradition of this event. Instilled in them, I'm sure, by their head coach at Wichita State, Gordon Vatican. He does have a couple titles here. Their teammate Matt McNeil, or fellow shocker, I guess you could say, as Matt McNeil, the oldest bowler in college bowling recently, perhaps. Bowled after all these guys have graduated, but he has found success here and did so this year as the all events leader right now. And they recently claimed the men's title at the Intercollegiate Team Championship. So that a lot of history and tradition in that program and at this event that I'm sure they all would love to be a part of with their teammate John Szczerbinski.
You mentioned that title just back in April in their hometown, Wichita, taking home the ITC crown. Tyler Cruz and Francois Lavoie, part of that team. A few of these other guys have taken home titles. Szczerbinski leading the way, capturing the crown in 08, 09, and in 2010 right here at the El Paso Convention Center. So has already found some success here. We mentioned his teammate on that 2010 team, Ronnie Sparks Jr., leading the way in regular singles with 793. So these Wichita State guys definitely a fan of El Paso already.
And Mr. Drew is a fan of Brooklyn right there as well. Crossing over for the early double here. Strikes piling on early here for High Five Gear, formerly known as CareerAthletes.com. So if you're curious how they've done over the recent years, you can check out the leaderboards on bowl.com. Go to the Open Championships page, and you might want to start from the top, and you'll see their names relatively quickly in the last 3 or 4 years.
Now, Matt, while we have the opportunity here early in Game 1, this was not the only major sporting event going on today. Your boy Joey Chestnut got knocked off in the hot dog eating contest. Nathan's Famous. I don't know if that's actually the correct name or not, but Matt Megatoad Stoney taking the title this year from Chestnut, looking to make it 9 in a row. What are your thoughts on that, sir?
Well, it's always fun to be a fan of the dynasty. It's also cool to see the underdog win every once in a while, and anybody who can eat 61 or 62 hot dogs in 10 minutes is pretty talented in my book. So high five to the guy with the cool name, Matt Stoney. Definitely the highlight of my holiday so far. Always something to look forward to, and for 40 teams today, something for them to look forward to. Opening day for them here at the 2015 USBC Open Championships. So while we've been here for about 120 days so far, all of these folks coming to enjoy their 2015 campaign. Opening day, the march down center aisle, the national anthem, and now trying to make some memories here in El Paso. Of course, if you look at the squad roster, a couple of favorites. in our two teams here on our featured pair. And some underdogs who would love more than nothing, would love nothing more than to step up on the big stage and get their names up in lights and hanging over the lanes. John Szczerbinski didn't have a chance to experience competition last year while his banner hung over the championship lanes. But now he comes in today and sees that orange eagle next to his name for the very first time.
All right, I mentioned Zager making his debut here at the Open Championships, as well as Kovalova, her first OC appearance as well. She's been one of the dominant forces for the Wichita State ladies in the past few years, including taking home the NCBCA Player of the Year award this past season in the collegiate ranks. Was a first-team All-American in 2013 and 2014, an honorable mention in 12 and 13, so just getting stronger as her career has progressed in the Wichita State program. There's no problem with the spare in the third. Once again, these competitors taking on the 38-foot pattern featured for the team event this year. I know they spent some time over at the Showcase Lanes for a team practice session, along with a few trips to the Bowler's Journal. If you want to get a look at the graph for this year's team event as well as double singles, be sure to go to bowl.com/openchamp. Click on the information tab. You'll see something for lane conditions. That'll get you all the information you're looking for. Three for three to start off for Francois. I mentioned as part of the ITC champion team in 2015. He won the singles championship in 2014 at the Reno Sparks Convention Center in Reno, Nevada. And Francois this is only his second appearance here at the Open Championships. His first was had to be pretty memorable though, joining some of his fellow members of Team Canada and making a run at the leading score. They called themselves the Leaf Lovers. We like to call them Team Canada pants. Rocking some sweet Canada-themed jerseys, and the whole attire actually was pretty cool. So, very talented group, featuring our buddy George Lambert IV, Mark Buffa, Patrick Gerard, and a few others. But Francois actually teamed up with Buffa and Gerard at the 2013 WTBA World Championships to take the gold medal in the trios competition. It was just the second gold medal at the event for Canada ever, so definitely definitely a good big moment for those guys, and we're happy to see Francois back here as well. And speaking of Canada, Devin Bidwell will be representing the United States in just a few weeks at the 2015 Pan American Games taking place in Toronto. He, along with Tommy Jones, will be representing Team USA. They got selected based off their performance at the 2015 Team USA Trials and Masters. The Pan American Games is America's version of the Olympic Games, which includes the Olympic program sports, as well as others that are not part of the Olympics right now. So our colleague Terry Bigham will be out there for that, and be looking to See what Team USA can do.
All right, Mr. Smith doing his homework prior to today's broadcast and all of that great information, and makes it easy when there's so many accomplishments and accolades to talk about. But right now, let's talk about high five gear getting off to a fast start. And some of those strikes are misleading. They were crossovers. But 0 for 5 in the third frame. And now 0 for 1 here in frame number 4. Both teams filling frames. One open apiece. But it's going to take some work to get to that 3368 number. Team NABR. Brian Wallachek, Mike Rose Jr., Scott Pohl, Rob Gottschall, and Adam Barta. Those guys have been holding on for quite a while here, just trying to make it through these next couple of days. We have some slow days here at the OC. July a little bit lighter, but still some talent coming through. We're watching two teams right now. And a couple hundred more teams would love nothing more again to have that chance and make a name for themselves. Final team event will take place on July 10th. We actually consolidated things a little bit at the end of the event, and we're going to wrap up a day early. So I'm sure all those leaders would love for this thing to get done right away. But last team event, July 10th, final doubles and singles, 8 a.m. on July 11th. And then we will make some phone calls and congratulate some champions. Of course, every pin they knock down today will be a head start towards team all events. And another big number to chisel away at, 10,064. And that number put up by Junior Team USA Support 1, the 2013 Team All Events winner. And they did that on a holiday, Easter weekend they were here. Very intimate gathering we had here at the El Paso Convention Center, and they were very focused on the task at hand and had a great team event. Had the lead for a little bit until Team NABR came through, but have held on to that Team All Events number. So looking to make it a second one in 3 years. Of course, Team All Events is the all events totals of all 5 players added together. 10,000, especially on this year's challenging 38 and 39 foot lane conditions, is a big number. In fact, without looking, the only 10,000 of the year.
Very true, Matthew. The next closest, Team NABR at 98.86, so they're still more than 100 pins off that 10,000 mark. Right now to make the top 10 in team all events at 96.14. Matt McNeil and his Linz Lakers 1 team out of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. As we mentioned, McNeil on top of the all events standings, looking to make it an unprecedented third all events crown in his short career here at the tournament with 22-26.
Bit of an off year for Mr. McNeil, but enough to get to that top spot.
Great cover there by Francois. Takes me back to the championship match at the 2014 ISC, taking on Midland's Perry Crowell. Looked like Francois might give Perry an opportunity or two in the last few frames to kind of get back into the match, and Francois took care of a 2-10 and I believe a 5-7 as well in the 7th and 9th frames to keep Perry at bay and eventually take home the title. So Yeah, both teams definitely got to be happy with their starts in the early going here. Only have one team in the top 10 that didn't crack the plus mark to start their 2015 event. So getting off to a good start has definitely been the best way. We've seen a few teams go really big, surpassing the 1100 mark. Unfortunately, the trend after that was pretty sizable letdown in game 2. Only Lodge Lane's kids able to secure a spot in the top 10 after big opening game. They're currently tied for 6th with 32-31. They started with 1146 and dropped to 970 in game 2.
That is the roller coaster. That is the Open Championships. And it's just a big puzzle you have to figure out, and you have to do it quickly here in this team event.
There's the first strike for Zager. Already some Open Championships history in the book for his family. His father, Matt, tossed a 300 game back at the 2002 event in Billings, Montana. So looking to carry the tradition on, just 21 years old. Matt, do you remember when you were 21?
Barely, because I'm almost twice that much now.
Goodness gracious. But definitely a very professional atmosphere among this group. Obviously, some of these guys have already spent time on tour, but they definitely know. From their time collegiately and time at this event as well, what it takes to make a run here. And I was impressed with Zager when I was talking to him after their performance at the Bowlers Journal. And he was definitely excited about his performance, but knew bowling with this group that definitely helped with loosen up the arm swing. But coming into today's competition, a brand new challenge ahead of him, and knew he had to kind of let that go and start brand new today. And after a few spares, got that first strike and leading the way. 3 strikes in a row for high 5 gear to kick off the 5th.
So some good numbers. Folks tuning in here, giving us part of their holiday. Thank you very much for checking out this action here on Bowl TV. This is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith. We're live behind lanes 7 and 8 here at the El Paso Convention Center. Closing in on the 300 number of viewers, and if it starts to get exciting, I have a feeling that number's going to go up and some messages might come rolling in. Some nervous folks at home trying to ride out these last few days of this year's event. We kick things off on March 7th. And final team event will take place July 10th. Last doubles and singles on the 11th. That's 127 consecutive days of competition before we say goodbye from the Sun City. It's been an interesting ride this year. Scores much lower than the last couple of years in Reno. Only 6 300 games here in 2015. Got to celebrate some interesting and exciting participation milestones. Sil Thiel became the 3rd member of the 70-year club. He's already scheduled for his record-tying 71st appearance next year at the National Bowling Stadium. Then, of course, we got to see USBC Hall of Famer Bill Lillard and his one-step delivery break the all-time pinfall record here. 124,087 is the new mark. And he is hoping to be healthy and ready for another go at it in 2016 to add to that pinfall total. And, of course, we saw Aaron Smith step up for a big 1686-ish all events performance here. Very proud of the little guy for finishing all 9 games with minimal bleeding.
It was almost the halfway point of the whole 9 games that the thumb decided to stop cooperating.
Small victories.
Not too far off what I shot in 14, but both way better than what happened in 13, so let's not talk about that.
It's all about improvement and taking advantage of not having to buy a plane ticket.
All right, first double for Zager. Needed to double in the 10th yesterday to secure that top spot at the, or top spot in open singles. It's kind of strange how Ryan ended up getting on this team. If you had a chance to read the article on bowl.com, it kind of goes into that. But as we mentioned, the only non-Wichita State member of this 10-team group, and maybe just took him a few frames to get comfortable wearing the yellow and gold, or the yellow and black there, but had originally planned to put together a team with his collegiate teammate at RMU. You may have heard of him, Marshall Kent. Then Marshall went off and won a title overseas as a PBA member, so Marshall's eligibility for this tournament had gone away after that. So next, another familiar name who was just in town here, Matt Gasson. I tried to get him with his very talented group, and they ended up filling the 5th spot with Rhino Page. You may have heard of him as well. He's not bad either. And then Ryan just kind of really didn't plan on coming, and gets his bowling equipment worked on, and near Rockford, Illinois, Mike Dole, familiar name in the bowling community, and that's where Jesse comes from as well. And they just happened to be both be at the pro shop one day, and Jesse just asked the question. He's like, "Hey, are you bowling?" Ryan said, "Afraid not." And then just like that, it was, all right, you got a spot? You're coming to El Paso with us. So by chance, it all kind of came together, and Ryan already made the most of the opportunity with his performance at the Bowlers Journal. Wicked messenger there from Bus. 4 in a row here in the 6th for high 5 gear.
All right, once again, top number 3368. And it's going to take, obviously, being around the 1100 number to get some confidence and some momentum. We've seen it both ways. Fast starts and fizzles out, or a little bit of a slower start and great comebacks like we saw in our last live stream broadcast. AJ Rice and crew started with 862, I believe was the number, and had 2 big games to get back to the 3,000 mark. But definitely can't give away pins at any point. And for some, you don't want to play catch up the entire way either.
say ketchup? Well, we already had the hot dog challenge talk, so you gotta settle it down, Canizaro.
There's your first mistake, Mr. Smith. There's no place for ketchup on a hot dog.
I've been told that, but I tend to occasionally disagree. So
there's one of the few rules of being a New Yorker.
Since I've never been to New York, I can't say I was fully aware of that.
It's understood. John Szczerbinski's been to New York. He's from North Tonawanda. Next door neighbors with again, Jimmy Schroeder, USBC Hall of Famer and 1976 Classic Singles Champ. The Buffalo area. So some may not count that really as New York.
I lied. I have been to New York. So I was at Buffalo last year. How about that?
All right. So as Aaron Smith nose continues to grow here on the live stream. I'm the old forgetful one.
I'm so focused on going to Chicago for the 2015 event this year that I'm forgetting stuff. You tell me to learn something new every day, so something else has to drop. So
this year's 38-foot team lane condition. Very challenging. Definitely have to make good shots. This is the national championship, of course. People come over and they ask, what do I need to do to do well here? I said, it's very simple. Don't miss left, don't miss right. Make sure your speed is the same on every shot.
it's that simple.
It is that simple. It's just 3 keys to success. At the OC, you're welcome.
Is there a reason you only started following those the last 4 games this year, though?
I was nervous. Going with superstars. I knew in my head what I needed to do. However, hitting the 3-pin 7 out of my first 10 shots, probably not the best thing I ever did.
It is near the head pin, though, so just the wrong side. Chris Drews taking advantage of some early Brooklyns here, finding the right look 4 in a row and 6 out of 7.
We are watching the 5 p.m. team event here. 2015 USBC Open Championships with Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith. 325 plus on the live stream right now. The Shocker Nation. Or perhaps all of Canada, since they already had their Independence Day on July 1st. It's just Saturday in Canada right now. Tuning in to see Francois Lavoie. Didn't recognize him without his Canada pants on, but that's him. Teams on today's squad. Looking for their chance at Open Championships glory. There's Devin Bidwell on lane 7.
That is going to be a very tough 310. Not even sure if the 10 pin's going to hang on there. He could put the ball in between those. Might be easy to do that, actually. So that's going to definitely make that that baby split not so baby. Kind of an interesting way these teams are working. The high five gear crew all a little further left on the lane than we've kind of seen so far at the 2015 event early on here. Nice cover by Bidwell. Their crossing group all playing a little bit straighter. So maybe that was the plan all along. Or maybe they kind of saw what was going on early and made the change. Obviously, as I mentioned, they spent some time over at the showcase lanes getting ready for this, getting a chance to practice on this team pattern, but when it's time to go, you got to adapt on the fly if need be, and that's what all the great teams do. And of course, a lot of communication going on, something well learned from their college days, and a lot of Team USA experience on here, as well as a few other countries. Kovalova coming from Ukraine. We already talked about Francois being from Canada quite a few times. Nice break for Zagar.
That's 4 in a row for the rookie, getting comfortable here. His first Open Championship strike came in the 5th frame, but perfect sense. And you got to get a few breaks along the way. And you talk about the cross team here playing a little bit straighter, and we saw some great success with Junior Team USA support having an all-ladies team. The ladies tend to play a little bit straighter and give you that opportunity to create some room to the outside part of the lane. These guys not quite using it yet as Abel crosses over again. That ball was left off his hand, never made it to that spot. But get him while you can. And then, as some folks have pointed out already online, the strategy here looks like they could open them up pretty good as the day progresses, and I have no doubt these guys can get left and wheel it if they need to, and just a matter of kind of gutting through the first game, putting up a decent number to give yourself a chance at it.
Both teams well on pace to do that here in the early going. Struze gets that one right quickly. Didn't have much of a chance to get back, so have to convert the washout to keep high five gear with just that one open.
Good question in the chat room about being able to go down and talk to the players about their equipment and likely their strategy as well. And I think that's a game plan of live stream pass. We're here to present it to you and kind of give you the background and tell you more about the event and the players themselves, and let their performances and what you can see kind of speak for itself as far as lane play and equipment wise. I'm sure reaching out to the players at any point too. They're always out there putting information and pictures and things on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll do our best to provide the entertainment and whatever great information Aaron Smith can dig up. And for those tuning in to see what's what, it's a homework assignment for you guys.
I'm just curious why he singled me out for doing that, though. Why can't you do that?
Because
my name's in parentheses there. That's
everybody knows what a tight squeeze it is up here, and me trying to leave the live stream area could cause everything to tumble. So send the skinny guy to do it.
all right, fair enough.
Plus, if the players gave away all their secrets and they found success on the live stream, then That wouldn't be fair to everybody else, would it?
That could be true. And again, not everybody throws it quite like John Szczerbinski. All right, foundation frame time here in game number 1. Both teams off to pretty solid starts here. But will it be enough to disrupt the bar to barbecue? All right, Ryan's going to reset after that one.
All right, so here's your Bowler's Journal Open Singles leader. Ryan Zagar stepping up, trying to make it 5 in a row here. On lane number 8. Goes high, gets a good break, leaves just the 4-7. We'll say Mr. Smith. These two teams definitely getting their fair share of breaks here in game number 1.
I will not argue with that, but that's also part of the experience of making a run. You, as you laid out your game plan for success here, you can't miss left, can't miss right, but when that does happen, if you can minimize the mistakes, avoid the splits, or as we've seen early on here, a few Brooklyns, that's all part of it as well. You need to catch a few breaks along the way.
Catch the breaks and hope they don't balance out like they did for our teams with 8s and 9s on terrific shots.
Youngster Tyler Cruz, 5 in a row to set up the 10th frame here. This past junior Team USA member back in 2012, won 7 gold medals at the Tournament of Americas. Started his collegiate career off at Midland University before transferring over. Ironically, that was the championship match in the 2015 event, Midland taking on Wichita State. All right, Matt, we're pushing the 400 mark here in the first game. The buzz about these guys must be spreading already on social media, and if you wish to follow us on social media, be sure to check out the Sport of Bowling, facebook.com/USBC, on Twitter @USBC, our own personal pages @USBC Matt and @USBC Aaron. That's AARON. Because I need the followers, so just saying. And then, of course, bowl.com, your one-stop shop for everything USBC. But we appreciate the continued support, and we're not quite done here from the 2015 Open Championships just yet. One more stream to go before we pack up the gear and start packing up the El Paso Convention Center for the teardown of the largest build in Open Championships history. 62 total lanes. If you're looking for a little more, there's actually 63 and a half in the building.
So I was kind of wondering what the numbers were going to be like today with the holiday and all, everybody out and about, but things looking pretty good here on Bowl TV, so thanks for joining us. And we're just minutes away from the 10th frame here in the opening game. Again, the number they're chasing, 33-68 here at the 2015 Open Championships. Team NABR, I'm sure nervously following along at home.
All right, looks like boys will have a shot to go 11:47 with a bunch of strikes in the 10th frame. Bounce back nicely after the early open in the 9th. Not necessarily the strongest 9th so far for high five gear, though. 3 spares in an open so far. Szczerbinski looking to make it 3 in a row, though, turn the momentum around.
Is that like turning the beat around?
I love to hear percussion as well, Matt. Talking about the same song, right? All right, Zager kicks out the 10th the right way. Late trip for the double. Looks like high five gears max is 11:19.
Well, 3 11-19s would be a solid year. And a good head start for Team All Events.
All right, when the hits are going your way, Ryan waves to the crowd off camera. All the folks in Wisconsin turning in. So 2:32. Not a bad way to kick off your Open Championships career, I would say.
Well, some familiar names joining us today. Quick shout out to the Waz, David Waswell from the Bowler Show, and Warren Crawford tuning in from California.
Ryan Abel now looking at back-to-back opens here to finish game one. See if he has some magic in him to convert the big four. .200 on the nose for Holly Harris. Gives away a few pins of count there, unable to get any. To finish at 186.
Well, that's why it's a team event. See if Drews and company can pick him up here. Terrific shot. Drews back on track here on lane 7. See, that's where it seems the majority of their Brooklyn and poor shots have come.
Drews was a part of the 2008 team that captured the ITC title. Had a pretty fantastic year overall at the Open Championships. We talked about him and Bidwell just missing the regular doubles lead. Ended up taking second, finishing 2 pins short with 14.63. Carl and Clark Polzer of Arden Hills, Minnesota, taking the top spot with 14.65, but 21.56 overall for all events, put him in 20th overall. He's also a member of Junior Team USA in 2006. Had the Open in the 8th, but overall, gonna have a great start here. Gets to 231 with one more strike. Late trip of the 9 for Jesse Buss. Jesse unable to compete at the 2014 event along with Szczerbinski due to his status on the PBA Tour. Folks got a chance to see Jesse a few times on TV as a member of the PBA League. Szczerbinski also on one of the teams. Got another score in the 230s. These guys can be right around the 1100 mark, just a tad south of that. With a few more strikes here. Open in the 10th from Tyler Cruz. Puts him at 223. Both these squads in good position to be plus. Francois can give him there with 3 strikes.
That guy likes to throw a lot of strikes for sure.
He does. He's not very animated like some of his fellow teammates, specifically Matt McNeil, running all over the place, running out shots. Francois very stoic up there. Actually had a chance to talk to him about, actually when I was coming in today, he found himself locked out at the El Paso Convention Center trying to get in some of the side doors, and got a chance to chat with him for a moment or two, and said he wasn't 100% sure how it was going to work out, but was going to give it their best effort here, and so far both teams firing away.
Decent start for both teams, but going to take a little bit of work the rest of the way. 33-68 and 3,200 to get around the top 10. But they'll leave a lot of work to do tomorrow. 800 over par at that point. To catch up with that Team All Events number by Junior Team USA support.
All right, Szczerbinski delivers the first one. 1091 still out there for high 5 gear. 1067. If Bidwell can deliver all 3 for boys.
And there's one of those evening out shots we talked about earlier. You got to get the breaks and avoid leaving something like that on a terrific shot.
That was just downright mean. The 8-pin, unfortunately saw a little bit too much of that just a few days ago in Reno, Nevada at the Women's Championships. So we brought to you USBC Hall of Famers Carolyn Dorn-Ballard and Anne-Marie Dugan. Marsha Klomkin was trying to be the one to steal the show, but those pesky 8-pins just kept popping up. Miscue from Bidwell gives him 185 and 1,035. Szczerbinski 202 for 1081. All right, as we kick off game number 2, a quick shout out to our gold industry partners. Columbia 300, Hammer, Kegel, and Storm for their continued support. of USBC championship events like the Open and Women's Championships. Abel bounces back after a rough finish to game one. Great shot there for the early strike. So these guys actually ahead of the pace set by Team NABR. They went 10:57 in the opener. Got stronger every game, 11:23 and then 11:88 to get to that 33-68 number. Of course, the thrilling finale with Wallachek, Rose, and Rob Gottschall all doubling in the 10th to get to the number. They needed every bit of it. Junior team USA Support 1 was already in the books at 33:59. Still the only two 3300s of 2015. Mentioned we have one more live stream here from the Open Championships. That'll be on the 8th, 4 days from today, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. Talented youngster Connor Pickford and his crew will be the final showcase here from Bowl TV and at the 2015 Open Championships. That group features our good buddy Chris Castro. You may know him from the Hammer booth. And last time we were on, he left to go get some fantastic tacos at one of the many fine dining places here at in El Paso, and he took a picture of the tacos, and then he didn't bring any for us while we were busy live streaming. So I don't know if you're opposed to this idea, Matt, but maybe we can return the favor. While they're on Bowl TV, we'll maybe stop by Chico's or L&J Cafe and get some tacos to go and have some fun here from the final broadcast.
Just being here is already a ton of fun. I don't know if we could handle any more. But always up for some shenanigans.
All right, Bidwell stepping up on lane 8. Really a breakout performance for him early on in 2015. Delivers a great shot there. As we mentioned, his performance at the Team USA trials earned him a spot on Team USA for 2015. And then his continued success at the Masters in Green Bay earned him enough points to get a spot in the Pan American Games later this month in Toronto. He and Tommy Jones will represent the guys and attempt to bring home a few gold medals for Team USA. Be sure to check out bowl.com for more information on that. And our favorite boss ever, Terry Bigham, will be on site. bringing you daily updates. So definitely a lot to be looking forward to this summer. The return of the PWBA Tour just days away now. As the stop in Sacramento will kick off the standard tour events. They'll go on all summer. Junior Gold just a few days away as well in Chicagoland. I'll be joining Lucas Wiseman and our good buddy Craig Elliott as we try something new out there. We'll have 3 live streams going before we get to the finals, and then finals will actually be shown on tape delay on CBS Sports Network, so something brand new for the Junior Gold program to look forward to the upcoming months.
So as these two teams get settled in here, it feels like the pace might have slowed down a little bit. Things getting serious after the quick start, 10:81 and 10:35. Francois makes it 4 in a row for his team. And a miscue by Abel there on the 6th pin on lane 8. All right, folks. Let's keep things appropriate in the chat room, please. We've got nearly 400 impressionable people tuned in right now, watching High Five Gear and boys. Trying to get it done here at the 2015 USBC Open Championships. Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith bringing it to you live from the El Paso Convention Center.
Szczerbinski takes advantage of the nice hit for an early double here in game 2. I mentioned John earned his eagle in 2013 with the regular all events crown, 22-28. With 789 in singles, which was enough for second, 777 in team event, and 662 in doubles. I believe that 777 was featured on Bowl TV, and you were kind enough to let me not in the booth that day, since I think I bowled the late squad that night. So since he's checking in right now, you probably had our good buddy Matt McNeil fill in for me and do a solid job. And And I went ahead and started team event with a double, and it was all downhill from there. So
Sorry, as I've proven along with you, starting the team event with a string of strikes is never a good idea. But a string of strikes now for these two teams would be a terrific idea.
yeah, both teams keeping, trying to keep the momentum going from game one. 1081 and 1035 both up on the board. So probably a few folks in the top 10, like Mr. McNeil, joining in, kind of wanting to see if they're going to hold on to their spot. You never know. We're going to have family members tuning in for today's broadcast. Hannah Drews saying, "That's my cousin." Talking about Chris, I would guess. Never know, but putting two and two together hopefully there.
Our resident mathematician, Aaron Smith.
I do what I can. All right, 3 for 3 for Jesse Buss. Also part of the 2008 ITC champion team at Wichita State. And Junior Team USA member in 07. Also owns a handful of PBA regional titles, including the Midwest Region Sports and Stripes Open at Scott Air Force Base in Illinois. That was a special title for him because his father Richie had won the event in the mid-90s. Jesse also made a run in Las Vegas in 2009, finishing 6th at the USBC Masters. Great shot there from Holly Harris for 3 in a row.
Terrific start there.
For Holly, she was on Team USA in 2014 after a 2-year stint on Junior Team USA in 12 and 13. She's made a few honorable mention All-American performances back in 11 and 12 and 13 and 14. Great shot there from Kovalova, 4 in a row. Pretty high praise coming from Matt McNeil in the chat, talking about his Wichita State teammate, Francois. I bet my life on him to strike when he needed it, says the guy who does nothing but strike here. Cruz unable to get that one all the way back to trip a 2. We talked about Chris and Devin's run in doubles at the 2014 event last year. They also took over the top spot in open doubles over at the Bowlers Journal. I actually sat down and talked to him, and before we could get the story up, few of Mr. Canizaro's teammates decided to go nutty for the day. Ended up taking over the top 3 spots over there and ended up staying that way. Zeke Bate, J.R. Raymond, and Terry Rohr.
And George Palumbo, throw him in there too.
Mr. 8 out of 9 himself. I don't think George was bowling that squad though, because I have a video on my phone of Terry's second 299 that day, and I'm pretty sure the person laughing in the background was George, so not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure George elected to sit out that session, if my memory serves me right.
Well, Mr. McNeil getting a little nervous in the chat room, curious about tomorrow as he's looking for another couple of top 10 finishes, and of course the big one, all events, 22-26. And if anybody can get there, well, there's about 10 of them on this pair of lanes right now. John Szczerbinski has been there. 22-28, I believe, was his winning number back in 2013. Looks like they bowl tomorrow at 9 a.m. on 11, 12, 13, and 14.
All right, you beat me to it. Matt McNeil currently in the top 10 of every event so far at the 2015 event. That team all events number, the closest one to hanging on. Mentioned earlier, Lynn's Lakers one currently in 10th. Sitting in 3rd in regular team. McNeil and Charles Vishaw, the 2012 winning tandem in doubles, 2nd, 1403. McNeil tied for 8th in singles, 765. And of course, on top of regular all events, 22-26. Does it get boring to strike that much? I don't know. I've never done it.
I think it pays pretty well. Gives you all those neat little trophies at home with the wings on them. So good momentum here in game 2. Again, 33-68 is the number. 10,064 team all events. A lot of possibilities here. A lot of nervous people on this holiday weekend. Of course, thank you to all the folks who have made Independence Day possible, as well as our gold industry partners who have made Bowl TV possible. Columbia 300, Hammer, Kegel, and Storm. And of course to me for making Aaron Smith's day off tomorrow possible, as I will be the one here to tabulate the numbers as these two teams make their way through doubles and singles and make more people more nervous, especially without the live broadcast going.
Well, Matt, I'm sure you'll do an excellent job of keeping track. You always do. And for those of you curious for a recap, always be sure to check bowl.com or the official USBC Open and Women's Championships Facebook page for all that news as it's kind of happening. Question in the chat, what's the pattern? You can see this year's Open Championships patterns for team as well as doubles and singles by visiting bowl.com/openchamp. The team event pattern is 38 feet in length. Doubles and singles 39. We're in the middle of team event right now. First double at game 2 for Devin Bidwell and a perfect fifth for boys. Righty's best friend, trip 2. Zagar started with 2:32 in his Open Championships debut to lead the way for high five gear. Ryan Abel still looking for his first strike on lane 8. Unable to get the 4 or anything to trip it. That pin spinning on the deck for a second there. Ryan started his collegiate career at Erie Community College and earned a second-team All-American nod in the 03-04 season before making his way to Wichita State. He's making his 11th Open Championships appearance. Coming in at a 209.4 lifetime average. All right, make it 6 for 6 for Kovalova. 4-pin also stands for bus here in frame 6. Miscue on the conversion, missing the 4-pin to the left. Frankie delivers the messenger for 5 in a row after the spare in the first. John didn't like that one off his hand, but take him when you can get him. Crosses over. Matt, as you mentioned earlier, definitely not an A and B team, so to speak. Definitely two teams capable of making a run here, and we're seeing Bidwell and company after 10:35 in the opener really get off to a fantastic start here in game 2. Just one open so far and a ton of strikes.
Well, you can see by the number of viewers growing that the word is getting out. Again, we're just past the halfway point in game number 2, and a lot of possibilities out there. I have the calculation for you after game number 2. Things looking good, 10:35 and 10:81, and a lot of strikes on the board here in the second game. This is live coverage from the 2015 USBC Open Championships. John Szczerbinski making his return to the championship lanes after taking home the 2013 regular all events title. Looking to add some team success to that resume here at the OC. A lot of collegiate success and national championships on this pair of lanes. But, trying to add those little orange eagles next to a couple more names.
Kovalova unable to get the 10-pin out in the 7th frame, so we'll have to wait for game number 3 to possibly see the 7th perfect game of the 2015 event, but plenty of excitement going on for sure.
So Francois with the mess to clean up there after the string of strikes. And we've seen a lot of transition come late in game 2, early in game 3. It's kind of one of the major hurdles that you have to overcome and find success. We saw T-Man ABR have a rough 10th frame in game number 2, and that put him in position later on. They stepped up and delivered in the final frame of game 3, but certainly lost a few pins there, not being able to double late in the middle game. Bidwell goes high, leaves a 3-6-10. His string comes to an end. 7th frame, not kind to these two teams.
Nice hit on the 9 for Szczerbinski. High 5 gear, possibly the furthest left we've seen out of any group so far in the live stream this year. Once again, looked like that might have been the plan. They kind of got left to begin with, but gotta be a little curious if they might run out of real estate at some point, but they teach you everything over there in Wichita, so I'm sure if it gets to that point, if you have to surpass the left gutter, these guys can do that. Actually saw, as they were finishing up their practice session yesterday, saw Bidwell take a few shots from that far in and loft in the gutter, and we'll see if it gets to that, but we'll see how it all pans out here live on Bowl TV. $400 plus joining us. George Palumbo checking in on Facebook. He appreciated the shout out, as always. Matt Cannizzaro also struck 8 out of 9 times. Matt doesn't like talking about it very much either.
Well, the money just part of the fun here at the Open Championships, of course, and all the side pots and jackpots and all those other goodies. It can be very profitable. Right now, a couple of bowlers looking at $16,000 paydays, I believe, for hitting the 159 strike jackpot. If you get 8 out of 9, pays $36 at this point. But I bet you a lot of bowlers out there would trade $16,000 for an eagle any day.
I have a question in the chat to the members of high five gear go to Wichita State. Actually, 9 out of the 10 on the pair has spent time in the shocker program. The only one who has not, Ryan Zagar, standout at Robert Morris University in Illinois.
Definitely hitting a few bumps in the road here. Late in game number 2. Just got to fight through it, and 33-68 still a definite possibility.
Fortunately, cannot give away opportunities like that. The miscue on the single pin. The third one, or second one of this game, I should say, for high five gear. All right, definitely a lot of chatter going on from both teams.
Starting to creep left even more. There's Jesse Buss almost sliding in the left gutter already. The whole game to go, but that one never quite turned the corner on the back, and it's definitely something you see when you try to open up the lane like that. Some hang to the right.
John's going to reset. So he looks to make it 3 in a row here to finish off the 8th frame of game 2. Gets the trip 4 to take care of business. Matt McNeil dropping Matt McNeil-isms in the chat room. But when you already have 3 eagles by the time you're 29, I guess you can do that. And 3 800s. And the nickname McHonor score. We'll let that one pass for now. can we see a big 9th and 10th frame for both of these teams to put themselves in a manageable position to run down Team NABR's 33-68 total. Kovalova taking care of it herself right now. 8 out of 9. 279 still out there after the 197 start. Nice shot there by Chris Drews, bouncing back after the open in the 8th. Just the 4th strike in the last 3 frames for high 5 gear. Francois comes in light after leaving the big 4 last time on lane 8. Great shot from Buss. Just starting with the front 5. All right, that 9-pin, it didn't stand a chance with all that, all the wood flying around there. So 1195 still out there for boys, with a whole bunch of doubles in the 10th.
A whole bunch of doubles in the 10th. Easier said than done, Mr. Smith.
11:03 for high five gear. We'll get that in before you go away.
Looks like Mr. McNeil's giving up on us. Already going back to the party.
That's all right. He'll be following tomorrow, I'm sure, on X Bowling. So we'll see how these guys finish up tonight. This 10th frame of game 2 kicks off. All right, there's the double to kick off the 10th for Holly Harris. Looking to get into the 230s after 200 to kick off her 2015 event.
Looks like a lot of folks tuning in from all over the world, the UK, Australia, the land of 10,000 lakes, Minnesota. We do appreciate everybody's support. Don't go anywhere. We still have the exciting conclusion to game number 2 here, and one more game to go.
All right, 202 for Zagar. Kovalova gets the first one. She's already in the 260s. We'll see if Dasha can add one more and make it to the 270s mark. Abel looking at another tough 10th frame here with the big 4 in game 1. Now the dreaded 7-10.
Big game here at the top of the lineup for boys.
I'll let Daria finish this up here. Looking for 279. And gets the trip 9. Just a 10 pin in the 7th frame for Kovalova. Everything else fell. 197 at 279 for her. And that's 6 for 6 so far in the 10th. We'll see if Cruz, Lavoie, and Bidwell can continue it on.
So a little bit of a rough game 2 for Abel there. Finishes with 168 after the 710. 202, 168 for high 5 gear. 235, 279, and another strike for boys.
Cruz can get to 215 still. 232 for Francois, and 234 still available for Devin. All right, 8 for 8.
A lot of pins up for grabs in the 10th, and they're going out and getting every one of them so far. Big performance here.
We've definitely seen some make or break 10th frames along the way. There are going to be well above 1,100 when it's all said and done. Just a matter of how much. 1,195 still out there. As Cruz finishes off with 215. .205 for Chris Drews. Great shot there, Jesse Buss. Goodness, another big 4 for Francois, this time on lane 7.
Their run comes to an end at 10 in a row. Not a bad surge here at the back half of game number 2. Certainly looked cool up on the scoreboard there for a minute.
Francois decides to take a shot to prepare for next game, so it doesn't get any. Loses out on a few pins, finishes at 204. Bidwell can get them to 1167. 3 more in the 10th. Mixes them up. Great shot. All right, 231 and 234 so far for Jesse Buss. He's going to be leading the way for high 5 gear through 2 at 465. Kovalova leading the pair so far, 476. John gets the first in the 10th. 10:45 still out there for high 5 gear. They will have their work cut out for them going into game 3.
Both teams definitely still in this, but it's going to take a whole lot of work to get to that 33-68 number on top by Team NABR.
For boys, they'll need 1181 for a share of that 33-68. It's actually a few pins less from what Team NABR did in their final game. They needed 1188 to get to that number. High five gear will be about 60 pins or so behind. As Szczerbinski finishes off with 3 in a row for 236.
All right, so high five gear. Gonna need 1242 here in game 3. The boys 1181. So we'll have a quick station identification and the exciting conclusion to tonight's team event coming right up here on Bowl TV.
All right, a perfect first frame for high five gear. Looks like they've actually moved back right. A perfect first frame, and nice start as well for boys, featuring Holly Harris, Daria Kovalova, Tyler Cruz, Francois Lavoie, and Devin Bidwell. Once again, the numbers 1181 for them and 1242 for High Five Gear. See them in the chat room as well, so be sure to tell your friends. You never know what's going to happen here on Bowl TV. We got to see that great finish by Team NABR live on the air, as well as the doubles and singles from Junior Team USA support #1 as they cruised into the team all events lead. Both are still holding on, and both probably at least keeping an eye on this as the 2015 event about a week away from finishing up. So thanks to everyone for joining us. About 450 watching live, and I'd love to see a few more. Great cover by Harris. We are behind lanes 7 and 8 here at the El Paso Convention Center. I'm Aaron Smith alongside Matt Cannizzaro, as we are in the final game of our second to last broadcast here from Sun City on July 8th. Connor Pickford, a talented youngster, and his team will make their run at the leading score. Guess we'll have to wait and see if it's still 33-68. You never know. That'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Just 4 days away. After the 4-9 from Abel, Drew's left scratching his head, looking at a big 4. Seen a few of those already today. All right, Matt, question in the chat room. Has a woman ever won an eagle? tournament opened up to the ladies in 1994. And I believe there was a champion on the booster team that year. But in the regular division, I can think of 2. There's more. I'm sure you'll correct me, but back in 2006, Wendy McPherson, I believe on the second to last day of the tournament in Corpus Christi, ended up taking home the regular singles title with 8-12, I want to say. And then back in 2009, she was then Brenda Edwards, now Brenda Padilla, teamed up with her husband Steven to set the record in regular doubles. Can look at the banner right now and cheat and see the score. 15-66.
So pretty much you don't need me here. I've taught you everything I possibly could. However, if you can tell me the name of the female champion back in 1994.
I'm afraid I'm not going to get that. I will just stay away from that one.
All right, so I still have some value here, some things to teach you. The Rayetta Dominguez. Also had one on the 2005 classified team champion, flirting with disaster, Karen West. So there's definitely been a handful of success on the ladies' side here. A few doubles champions as well in the classified division. Jackie Calhoun, Velvet Sanderson.
And 2 more looking to join that list this year. They've been holding on to the classified doubles lead for a while now. Got there by just a single pin. Vicky and Jamie Pollard. That's right, those Pollards. Looking to hold on to the classified doubles lead, 11-62. Goodness gracious, back-to-back big fours for Drews. Once again, the numbers these teams looking to achieve here in the finale. 1181 for boys, 1242 for high five gear. Already looking at a few opens. So we'll definitely have to start seeing some strikes here. Francois rings the 10. All right, there's a double for Bidwell. It's just one open so far through 3-4 for boys. High five gear with 3 splits through 3 frames. So that 12:42 for them is definitely going to be an uphill battle here. Great shot from Harris there. Looked like a ball change. Zagar sends the messenger at the 10. It's clean through 4.
Well, we talked about the numbers needed here, and while clean is good for but possibly the big picture, it's going to take a little bit more than filling frames at this point, throwing shots like that. Kovalova gets a late hit on the 9. It's time for a strike-a-thon to happen here.
Don't people usually have to call in and for such things and
Believe it or not,
pay money for that?
I believe the folks in Wichita, at least they used to, when I knew some people who went there, they do have a strike-a-thon. People pledge money, they go out and bowl and throw strikes, and they do a whole lot of fundraising to help that program. So now would be a good time to phone a friend, call in a favor. You guys need some strikes. However, I think at the same time, Adam Barta and the guys would pay twice as much to have them not strike. In a playful and sportsmanlike kind of way, of course, because those guys are classy individuals, and we all know that if somebody did beat that score of 33-68, they would be the first to congratulate them on the performance. There's all playful rivalry. A lot of top teams and top players pushing for one another here at the Open Championships. Wanted to see the success, and often saying, if it can't be me, it'd be great if it could be this guy or that guy. And so many understand and know what the Open Championships and tradition are all about. What it means to have that orange bird next to your name. And of course, once you've been there one time by yourself, you absolutely, definitely come back each year wanting to share that feeling and success with your teammates, which is what Mike Rose Jr. is hoping to do.
I would have bet money you were going to go into the Bo Gergen story there. Luckily, the pay window was closed, but not for Devin Bidwell. 3 in a row. But of course, Bo also has a banner hanging here from his 862 performance in singles at the 2009 event in Las Vegas, and said he wanted nothing more than to be able to share that feeling with his teammates. And lo and behold, the next year in Reno, team all events. It's a very talented group out of Michigan featuring J.R. Raymond and Dan McClellan.
Mr. Smith. A lot of pictures on social media as the sun goes down and the excitement of the 4th of July. The fireworks about to happen across this great country. Still waiting to see if we're going to see some fireworks inside the El Paso Convention Center here in 2015.
It's twice today. Cliche Canizaro.
I'm familiar with so many cliches, having edited them out of so many Aaron Smith stories over the years. And
that's why I'm the sidekick.
And we've signed on for another go-round in 2016, making plans and schedules already for next year's events. The Open Championships returns to the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. The Women's Championships and the USBC Mixed headed to South Point Bowling Plaza in Las Vegas. Registration for the Open and the Women's already up and running. So if you'd like to get signed up, get your name in early, get your prime dates and times. Again, 1181 and 1242 are the numbers needed here in Game 3. Both teams with a very good shot at the top 10. If you want complete standings and individual results from your favorite bowlers, you can visit bowl.com/openchamp. Leaderboards, as well as an opportunity to just type in their names, see how they bowled this year.
Our good friends Chad and Kim Newman letting us know that they're joining today, watching some Bowl TV on the 4th, alongside some folks like Doran Ballard or something. I don't know. Might have. I guess they're well known in the bowling industry.
I believe Mr. Ballard celebrated a birthday earlier this week, and I wish him a happy 85th on the Let's Go Bowling show on Wednesday.
Is that 85th?
80, I believe it was 85. Although he doesn't look a day over 70, so Dell nursed back to health by his lovely wife Carolyn. Hopefully doing well, getting ready to do some traveling, I believe.
But to Dell, CDB, Chad and Kim, and everyone joining us here on Bowl TV. Hope everyone's having a great 4th of July. Thanks again for joining us here, spending some time on your holiday weekend right here on Bowl TV. These youngsters from Wichita, I'm sure, appreciate it as well. Wichita and Wisconsin. Can't leave out Mr. Zager. Holy cow, it's a Mike Flanagan sighting as well in the chat. Howdy, Mr. Flanagan.
I believe there's some bowling going on elsewhere this weekend in Las Vegas. Some big money to be won out there, so A couple PBA regionals happening. A lot of great bowling action here to kick off July.
All right, the frame's starting to run out here. For boys, they still got enough, but they really need to start striking now. Otherwise, the bar to barbecue can't continue. Tyler Cruz delivers a great shot there in the sixth. Currently have their max score at 1229. They needed 1181 to take a share of the lead, so not a lot of room left.
All right, so we're getting down to the exciting part of game number 3. They can pile them on like they did in game 2 and get some momentum heading into tomorrow. A lot of work to be done.
Certainly a lot of sticks still out there, and as you mentioned, this is just part of the equation, as they will attempt to make the run at team all events as well tomorrow during the 9 a.m. squad. Spot in the top 10 definitely still available here. 31.95 rounds out the top 10 in regular teams so far. Just a week to go.
Here's Drews looking for 3 in a row up on lane 8. Terrific shot. These guys know how to strike. And they've had some close calls. Of course, Szczerbinski winning all events, almost winning singles. No doubt a lot of success and bright futures at the Open Championships for these guys. Zager just 21 years old, making his debut at this high-profile team, and makes us think back to last year, where Wichita State shocker A.J. Chapman made his debut, also as a fill-in, and nearly won all events, helping his team to a 3,500-plus effort. Sometimes surprises me the amount of talented players who don't come to this event at all, and then the ones who just don't have teams, don't have plans.
It is certainly crazy.
And then guys like us who wouldn't miss it for the world. And we're not that good.
That's a fact. All right, the miss from Cruz will put their team out of the number. So Adam Barta and Team NABR looks to hang on for another day here. Getting closer and closer to that phone call.
I'm going to try to pull up the schedule here for a minute, but I don't know that we have very many team events left. Of course, we got the big one coming up with Connor Pickford and some familiar names on the 8th. We'll have that for you live on Bowl TV.
We already talked about Dell a little bit. He won't be joining us, but his teams will be out here as well at the end of the event. I'm not sure their exact dates and time, but
Chad Newman, Jason Milligan will carry the load this year without Dell. Terry Taylor, Clint Dacey,
Steve Smith.
Some
Definitely
very
some
familiar names in that group.
Certainly so, and we saw them make a run in 2013 as well. Right there at the end of the event. Before settling into the top 10.
So by my calculations here, Mr. Smith, it looks like we only have 4 team events left at this year's event.
Holy cow.
So we'll have doubles and singles only tomorrow. Then we'll have a 5 p.m. team event on the 6th. And then our next team event will be on the 8th at 5 o'clock that we just talked about. 5 o'clock on the 9th and 5 o'clock on the 10th. And then it is all over for team competition here in 2015.
Dunzo, just like that.
Just like that. We're going to ease into the final days here. I imagine it will be, or will not be any less stressful for Team NABR and Junior Team USA support. We haven't really talked much about our doubles leaders at this point. Hanging on as well. Anthony Simonson and Mark Sleeper Jr. Simonson just 18 years old and already fresh out of juniors, a couple PBA regional titles, and now on the verge of a doubles win here. But I feel like looking at the numbers that might be the most attainable, with singles coming in a close second. And if anybody can get it done, again, these 10 folks you're watching right now, they've proven that they work well together. They've done it at the Bowlers Journal and at the Open Championships in recent years. So if I was those doubles guys, I would be very nervous tomorrow as well.
Yeah, probably quite a few folks surprised only to see 2 1400 so far this year, but 39 foot has definitely proved to be challenging. No different than this 38 foot pattern we've seen on team event. Just 8 teams above the 3200 mark so far. Only 2 have surpassed 33.
So we do have a good question in the chat room from Jeff Pirashad about who we recognize here at the Open Championships and why. And Jeff, for the most part, and it tends to vary, it changes occasionally based on conversations on who and why. But we try to limit the announcements to success here at the Open Championships or at major USBC events like the Queens and Masters, or international success while representing the country, World Championships, and what is now the PABCON, formerly American Zone, for example. Again, just trying to keep things centralized around the success you've had here. Otherwise, the announcements could take hours on some days. So trying to be selective with what we put out there. And of course, sometimes you'll hear things differently in the squad room than you will out on the lanes. And the lanes reserved only for the highest of success at this event. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense, and not to take anything away from any other accolades and accomplishments. But with 40, 50, 60,000 bowlers and 112 years of history, there's a lot that could be said.
Yes, with this group of 10 alone, just the collegiate marks would definitely take a while. 9 out of the 10 players standouts at Wichita State.
So that answer isn't always as fun as when somebody asks if they can say happy birthday in the squad room or something to that effect, where all of a sudden you're bum rushed by tons of requests and different ideas. So that process always under review. and actually could be simplified even more as we get more dedicated bowlers. We want to try to keep that focus on the participation aspect of things. Thank the bowlers for their commitments and their success here, but we'll continue to review that in the future and give whatever input is requested of us in that decision-making process. But again, centralizing most of the focus on the biggest stage here at the Open Championships. So with that, turn our attention back to the final two frames here, as both teams battling their way, trying to get into the top 10 here in 2015.
Nice break there for Zager. Just mentioned 9 out of the 10 with experience at Wichita State. Ryan spent his collegiate years at Robert Morris University in Illinois and helped them capture the 2013 ITC title. Szczerbinski, Buss, Drews, Lavoie, and Cruz all captured a title at Wichita State during their time there. Lavoie and Cruz did that just back in April. Great shot from Kovalova. Had the big 279 to lead the way in game 2 to that 11:52 effort. Strike's been a little bit tougher to come by here in the finale. Still has a shot to go 225 and be right around the 700 mark. Great shot from Drews, bouncing back after back-to-back big fours early in game 3. Working on 5 in a row. All right, High Five Gear looking to finish strong as well. Already working on 3 doubles. Szczerbinski can make it 4 to set up the 10th. And the rough hits continue for Devin Bidwell. He's thrown the ball pretty well, and the score definitely not reflecting that here. Handful of 9 pins. Remember a stuff 8 earlier in the day as well, and staring at a 4-9 after 4 consecutive spares. So it looks like 32-57 still out there for boys. We'll figure out high five gear in just a sec. Both teams pretty close. 32-65 max score for high five gear. That would be enough to move them into 5th. That'll be a whole bunch of doubles.
Well, first time you said that tonight. A whole bunch of doubles were thrown.
We'll see if I got the touch to make these things happen. All right, second double of game 3 for Kovalova. 225 still out there. Zagar looking to get to 216 with the conversion. I'll put him at a nice even 650. Kick off his first Open Championships appearance. All right, the Messenger unable to get the 10, but the first two were the important ones. 224. Dasha Kovalova will put her at 700 on the nose. So great showing for her. Also making her first Open Championships appearance. All three in the 10th for Abel. Puts him at 549. All right, sounds like a few folks might be having trouble with the stream. It seems to be working all right, at least for me. But if you did miss anything or want to make sure you catch all the 10th frame, be sure to check this out on the archive, youtube.com/BowlTV, after it finishes up. All right, the way it's looking for boys, if Francois picks up the 3-6-10 and Devin delivers all three, they'll go one pin ahead of Calumet College of St. Joseph, which is currently in 10th at 31.95. High Five Gear might be able to top that still. We'll see after Jesse's second shot here, working on 4 in a row. All right, there's the first one from Bidwell. High Five Gear will actually have a chance to surpass their score. Bus takes the 2, he'll finish at 220. So 32-14 still out there for High Five Gear. Szczerbinski working on the double. There's the first one. So that strike should be enough to get them into the top 10. Great performance by both teams today. Definitely a nice head start going into doubles and singles. They'll still have a lot of work to do, but great shot by the 2013 Team USA Trials champion. So, all right, this will be our final look at John Szczerbinski as we wrap up on Bowl TV today. 3 great shots to get him to 237. 1088 for the team. And 32-14, which is enough to move them into 8th place. Jesse Buss leads the way for High Five Gear with 685. John Szczerbinski 675. Chris Drews 655. Ryan Zagar 650. Ryan Abel 549. 31.86 for boys, led by Dasha Kovalova, shooting 700 right on the nose to lead the pair. Francois Lavoie, 668. Tyler Cruz, 636. And Devin Bidwell, 605. Holly Harris, 577. So that's that.
All right, folks, there you have it. The conclusion of today's broadcast here on Bull TV. One top 10 finish and one just outside looking in. And a good head start for tomorrow for Team All events. They're back on the lanes at 9 a.m. local time, 11 a.m. Eastern if you want to check it out on the webcams, bull.com/openchamp. Otherwise, that is going to do it for tonight. We'll be back on July 8th with our final live stream broadcast of the year. That's the news for now, and we'll see you on the lanes.